Okay, Esther, thank you for agreeing to the interview. So, do you use a comb?
Very rarely, maybe about once a month, because I've actually learnt to finger comb now. So before I started to finger comb, yes, I would use, my combs vigorously, every day.
So how does finger comb work?
Finger comb is like taking, after you conditioned your hair, it's like taking sections of your hair and just like gently pulling them apart, instead of like what a comb does one section all at the same time. So it's just like patiently separating, the hair strands, until you've got it soft and you can actually put your fingers through your hair.
Okay, so what type of combs have you bought today?
Right, today what I brought is what I call my Sankofa comb. And the reason why it's a Sankofa comb, it's made of wood. It actually has the Sankofa bird on it, which is like the handle. And Sankofa means go back and fetch. So that's all about like the old cultural history of our actual combs. Is like the first combs, as I know, were made out of wood or bone or ivory, and that, so this is like a symbol representation of the comb, and this is the one that I actually use, because when I'm using it I feel kind of like, it's not okay, I've got to do my hair, I feel kind of a bit like royal, a bit cultural, and it's like my hair as well.
It's all part of your identity.
It's true.
Yeah. And the other comb that you bought, or that's more of a
yeah, this comb is more of not like your everyday tool that you can use. It's more like when I go back to like Ghana, I really like combs and like carvings, and I've got quite a few now, so I started, every time I go home I start to add them to my collection. This one is very symbolic. It's got the fertility doll carved in it, and when you're actually younger in like our tradition, young people are actually given like a fertility doll when they're growing up as part of puberty. So that's that. And here you've got carved is the actual unity knot. So that's one family together in unity, and that. And of course at the end you've got the long spirals of the actual comb. And then the colours, red, gold and green, as you know, represent green is the land, gold is the richness, and red is the bloodshed of the people. So the whole comb carved, the carver had that in mind. It's not just symbolic, it has history and meaning towards it. So I really love this like comb.
And do you know when the Afro comb was invented?
You mean ancient Egypt? I know it's invented in ancient Egypt's time. I'm not sure around what the actual era was and that, but I know that ancient Egyptians actually used it. I don't want to actually quote a figure. I do have a kind of like year in my head, but I don't want to actually quote it.
How do you know it's the ancient Egyptians?
Because a lot of civilization grew out of ancient Egypt, and like the research that I have done and I've come across with their grooming sessions, as women they used to get together, and it's kind of love and beauty and that. So a lot of our tools, whether it's a comb, whether it's a hairpin, whether it's adornment, came out of Egypt.
Okay, and do you have a story that you'd like to record on hair or combs?
I think personally that everybody needs to know a part of their history, especially when they're using implements and tools. Not just take it for granted, it's just there to actually lift up your afro and that. So I think it's important that we actually always have to go back and wonder, why is this made this way? Why do we have it? Why are we still using it today? It hasn't it's only changed in the actual material we've used, but it's not changed in the actual way that we've used it. And I think this is a good thing, that we need to celebrate some of our culture more, and take instead of other people telling us, this is how you should do and what you should do it, we need to take ownership of our own things and our own tools and learn, and then we need to pass them that information on as well, to actually make our own museum inside of our head, as well as going and visiting museums and that, and not take it for granted that a museum is just a piece. Oh, that's a comb. It's not a comb, it's more than a comb. There's a chapter and there's a book, and everything to it. So it's good for the next generation to learn that, and we keep learning ourselves as well, which is good.
Great, thank you very much.